Hi guys, you seem to be enjoying my process videos lately, so what I thought I would do is share with you the entire process from start to finish on how I create my handmade paper rainbows. Okay, so the first thing I do is shred all of my business admin waste. So all of the orders that you guys put through that are finished with, any receipts, any paperwork to do with my business gets shredded. So initially with all of my admin waste, I was putting it in recycling, and one day it came to me that surely I can be a little bit more creative with what I do. So here's the boxes full of shredded waste. Next step is to put all of that paper, or a big bunch of that paper, into water in a big tub and leave it to soak for at least 24 hours, longer if possible. Okay, then I'm going to use an electric drill with an attachment on it that looks like this. It's just a sharp blade, so that when it's turned on, it spins around and turns that paper into a pulp. Into the water it goes. Minutes of doing this so far, and as you can see, my work boots are quite wet. This is a very wet process. I also like to have an extra set of hands on standby, just in case I need that little bit of help. So an extra person or dog in the studio is really handy. This is Brandy Girl. So in order to make the paper, you'll need what's called a mold and decal. This is my mold and decal. It comes in two parts, a frame and the mesh section. You can get these in a variety of sizes. My personal one is a 3 size because that's about the biggest I can personally work with in my studio, but you can get in A4 or also a lot bigger as well. Now I've got my pulp to this consistency, I'm ready to use my mold and decal to start making my A3 paper. Okay, so now I'm going to dip my mold and decal into the water, give it a little swish around and lift straight up. Just going to rest it on the edge, leave it to drain before I take the frame away. Now I'm transferring the paper onto a dry towel, and I'm going to use the sponge to soak up any excess water. I'm now really gently removing the decal. And we have our first piece of paper that's going to take a number of days to dry. Rightio, so I have just spent the last hour repeating that process, and I've managed to make 6 A3 pieces of paper using that batch of shredded paper. There's still a little bit of pulp left, but it's getting a bit thin now to work with. So here is what has been created today. And naturally, being the middle of winter, I'm now going to have to leave these for a number of days to dry before I move on to the next step. Okay, so I've just come out to the studio after 3 days of leaving the paper out here to dry, and it's still really wet. So because I'm a little bit worried about the chance of mold, I'm going to move them out into the sunshine today while I've got the opportunity. Here they are, getting a little bit of sunshine. They are actually starting to dry, but it's just taking slightly longer than I'd like it to. So I'm just going to help them along a little bit in the sun. Finally, the paper is dry. So it's been 7 days of drying. I ended up bringing the paper inside my house to get the warmth from the heater. And now the next step is to paint the beautiful rainbows. So we've got 2 different sides to this paper. This is the side that I like to paint on. The other side is actually textured, as you can see here, from the towel that I had them drying on. So you can paint on either side. Next, I pick my paint palette and away I go. Here's a close-up of those beautiful deckled edges and the gold detail, as you can see, as well as some letters that show up within the paper. Beautiful detail. So that's it. That's how I make my handmade paper rainbows from beginning to end, using complete admin waste and turning it into something beautiful. For more colour in your life, check out debmcnaughton.com.